All right, as I put in the announcement, actually, I did not arrive late. Um, I really thought I was going to be late, but I wasn't because I had to go pick up the exams at the print shop, and depending on when I was done work, I might have, you know, been running late to here, but I didn't. But it's still going to be a super short class because usually this is only me talking about the midterm next week. All the new content is done; it's gone. Put a pin in it. Um, okay. Yeah, we got this super fancy way of rendering the information now. Nope. No. Um, okay, so midterm is June 19th, next Thursday at 4 p.m. here. It's 50 minutes long, 30 multiple choice questions. I don't think there's even any fill in the blanks. Just 30 multiple choice. No aids allowed. You're not allowed to take a cheat sheet in. Okay. Now, I have to be clear on this. Like 3/4 of the group is missing. Do not be late. If you're arriving late and somebody has left a room, you will not be allowed to write the test. End of story. Do not pass go. Definitely not collecting $200. That's it. I mean, I had to do it to someone during the exam for this course last term. Person showed up 25 minutes late for the exam, and I had 4 people that just blew through the exam, like 50-question exam, and not a 50, 40-question exam, and they were done in 15 minutes. I don't know how they got through that test so fast, but they blew through the test. And he came in late, and I said, "You're not allowed to write." So, it's kind of soul crushing on both sides because I hate saying that to someone, but that's what it is. I'm actually going to put a note in here because I'm going to be taking this and shoving it straight in Brightspace for you guys. Do not be late. Somebody left the room. Right. Okay, what else do you need to know? Bring pens because, well, pens. It's not Scantron, so you're just going to circle the questions on the test. Bring something to drink. Historically, I've had people just start coughing through the test because they had nothing, and they're like, "Can I leave the room?" No, sorry, you leave the room. Somebody has to escort you. And there's only one person here, and it's not like here's not so bad because I could just go into the hallway and watch, like stand at the door and watch because the fountain's right there. But the answer is no. Bring water or something, coffee, whatever works for you. Tea. I don't recommend booze. Um, might not be the best answer. Some people might work, but pretty sure not let a crack a can of beer in class. Just saying. Okay, so those are the rules of engagement. Now, the test, it's coming, is broken down like such. It's at the bottom. So there is 30 questions. Now, the reason why the test is so short is because you have the practical assessment, which I think you guys did yesterday. Next week, right? It's next week, but it would have been next Wednesday. I woke up this morning and I was so happy because it was Friday, and then I realized it wasn't Friday. So by this week, my whole schedule is just completely all over the place. So yes, you're right. It's next week, next Tuesday. The reason why the test is so short is because you're already doing the exact same thing, but you're doing the mechanical side of it. So these are going to be more generic questions. So the breakdown of the questions, so you know where to focus, depending on how comfortable you feel on some topics, you might want to focus on some things more than others. So there's 6-ish questions about general database type questions. MariaDB specific commands, things like the use command, because that's what in other database servers, you don't use the use command to connect to a database, you use something else. Like in Postgres, it's \c. space, whatever database. So different database engines will have different commands. There'll be a few that are specific to what you guys have been doing, like show tables, show databases, describe. That kind of stuff doesn't exist anywhere else, but it exists in MySQL. So there are questions about those. Seen them in the slides. You've probably used them in class, so you know. So 6 questions on aggregates. By the aggregate side of it, I mean it has to do with the different aggregate functions, min, max, average, sum, count, whatever other ones there may be. Also group by and having. I'm going to take all this and put it right in the announcement. You don't need to worry about taking pictures. You can take pictures if you want, but it's going to be right in the announcement. So there's, like I said, there's 6 questions roughly. Like these numbers are roughly because sometimes they overlap a little bit. So functions, group by, and having. You know, what does having do? Where does having, you know, where does it exist in the query? That kind of thing. 9 questions on DDL, because we literally had 2 lectures on the topic. That's why that one has the most pieces. That's going to be your create table, drop table, alter table, create your constraints, your foreign keys, potentially asking you questions, the generic questions about data types. There's 5 questions-ish on the where clause, your predicates. Do not be shocked if you see the word predicate on the test. So those are just, you know, also going to be talking about, you know, which keywords are used to group multiple statements, multiple predicates. How do you get one set of predicates to execute before the other ones, kind of thing, you know, the brackets and or not, like, where, that kind of stuff. 3 questions on select, ordering, like the basic things. So select all the columns, select specific columns. Potentially aliases, how to rename things. Questions about that are literally how do you order stuff? Can you order by more than one column? How do you do that? It's literally questions about the stuff you've been doing for the labs for the last 5 weeks. Just this time it's asking you the questions. So can you do it without an editor in front of you? The good news is there used to be a mistake on this test and that's been repaired now. So there used to be a question and I had to tell everybody what the answer was because it did not belong on this test. It belongs, it should have gone on the next test. Part of it is because I rejigged the course last time I taught it, so that there's less noise. They were basically rushing some of the topics that second half were actually in the first half. So they were rushing through some of the topics so that they could teach stuff that's not on the course outline. Because they felt that you know, it was important for you guys to know about it, but in the meantime, you guys are being rushed through half the material. Like you saw how a lot of my lectures went to the last minute. Imagine if I was covering 10 to 20% more material per class. There's no way. So, or at least there would be no way for you to have a chance to practice it before. So that's what it is. Okay, so that's the breakdown. That's the content. Like I said, it's going to be here. I'm going to try to spread everybody out. If you're supposed to be writing in Cal, make sure you book, because I haven't gotten any notifications yet. I really don't know if anybody's writing in Cal, but those of you that, if there is someone, I need to approve the test and give them a copy. So, and as you're running out of time, because like it's a week. Not so bad for the midterms, but for the final exams, it's like a 3-week cutoff. So just that. Okay. Now, does anybody have any questions about the midterm? It's not everything. There's nothing that on the midterm that's not in the slides and or in the hybrids. So if you're wondering what should you study, go through the slides again, because there's no textbook, right? So it's the slides and the hybrids. Reread through the hybrids. Don't do the tests again, but reread through the hybrids and make sure most of them are pretty short anyways. It's, like 3 pages of reading. And you should do fine. And yeah, you guys should have your grade results by the same night, in theory. Well, because I got a midterm after this, so I'll be grading your tests while the other students are taking their test. And then I'm going home and grading their tests so I can submit all the grades, the midterm grades, by next Thursday night. So same night. You should have your grades. I hope. So I'm leaving town at like 11 a.m. the next day, so let's hope. Go for a long-deserved vacation that I haven't had in years. So yeah. All right. So any questions? Because that's for the 5 of you that bothered to come today, this is your chance to ask questions that none of the others get to ask. All right. Going once, going twice, and this is your last class of the day, isn't it? So you get to go home. Congrats. There we go. Yeah.